What's up? My name is Kayla and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be kind of a will I buy it, or what I'm calling a is it worth it video, where I'm going to be talking about new releases that are coming out. And a lot of people do these videos. Samantha March is the person that I think of the most. She does these will I buy it videos where she talks about new releases every single week, every Wednesday on her channel. I think she even has a playlist of all of them, so I'm going to link that down below. So if you want to check out kind of her spin on these things, but there have been some new releases that I really want to put my input on, so if you want to subscribe or check me out on Instagram and Twitter, if you see something that you might want me to talk about, just be sure to tag me on Instagram or Twitter. So with all that said, let's get rolling. So just for reference, everything that I'm going to be looking at is from the Trend Mood Instagram page, just because it's a really good source for all your... So first off, I'm just going to get out of the way, is the Kristen Dominique Lemonade palette. In the minimal amount of videos that I've done so far, I've already talked about that palette a lot. We do have official release date. It's going to be June 19th, but we don't have a time. And it's going to be for $42, and then there's going to be 4 glosses that are $17 each. I'm not a gloss person, making that known, but the one gloss that I do have, I'm really interested in, but I still want to see reviews on the glosses themselves. Maybe some people that also don't like glosses might be, like, if there's people who I know that don't like glosses, but they think those glosses are good, I might check them out then. But yeah, the palette, I'm buying the day it drops. We already know that. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It's coming out June 12th on Urban Decay's website, and then it's going to be online at Sephora, Ulta, and Macy's on June 19th, and then it'll be in stores on June 24th. The eyeshadow palette is $49, lipsticks are $18 each, and then the Glide-On pencils are $21 each. I'm looking at the palette here. At first I was very curious and interested in it, but when I look at it, it's mostly warms with, again, some cool tones. And it seems really dark for summer. I feel like this would come out more in the fall, just because of the color scheme, and it's really pretty, and I definitely see why they're coming out in July. So as much as I think that this, at least the palette itself looks kind of more like a fall look, I do understand why it's coming out the day after I'm posting this, or the day I'm filming this, because it's travel inspired. This is the palette you take when you go traveling and do all these things. But now I'm going to touch base on the BH Cosmetics new Galaxy palette. I think, what is the name? It's called Aurora Lights. It's all baked eyeshadows, and it's a pretty palette. It should be already out now. Yeah, it's $18, and then you can get a matching brush set for $24, or you can get the bundle for $42, and it is available now on their website. I'm not a baked makeup products kind of person. I feel like the stuff I do buy that are baked, like shadows like this, it makes me really nervous. The 2 new blushes from Wet n Wild are baked, and those I'm into. I need to play with them more. I'm wearing the more pinky one towards the outside edge of my eye today, but I need to hear more about this palette. I love the colors, the bright pinks and purples. I'm really into. This whole palette is beautiful to me. The only thing I could probably do without is the 24K and the sparkling shade, just kind of like the light gold and the gold. But everything else is really pretty. BH Cosmetics is super affordable. But I'm still gonna wait on it because there's more palettes I want right now. But reviews, definitely I want to see about that. So the next thing that's coming out is the Flamingo eyeshadow palette by Violet Voss. And I'm talking a lot about eyeshadow palettes because that's what I love to purchase. I love talking about eyeshadow palettes. And this one I'm into. I love this palette. I love how, besides Sand, I think, these are all bright colors. There's a nice amount of shimmers and mattes, and I am 100% into it. So it says it's coming mid-July, and I don't know how much the prices are, but I think Violet Voss palettes are usually $45. So that's probably where I'm expecting that's gonna be around that. And so this also doesn't say that it's coming to Sephora. Now, I know Violet Voss is at Sephora, but I don't know if all of their products are. But if this palette is coming to Sephora, even if it's not coming like mid-July, like they're saying, I will probably pick it up when it does come to Sephora. I recently got like Sephora's Amazon Prime, like I recently got Sephora's version of Amazon Prime, so I will probably never be going into a Sephora ever again. Because if I can order something with 2-day free shipping, then I'm gonna do that. But one last thing on this, the Flamingo palette, is I've never tried Violet Voss as a brand, but it's been one of those brands that I've been really wanting to try, but at the same time it's like I'm going to wait till something gets announced that it's like, yes, I can really get into, because a lot of Violet Voss, like, people say a lot of good things about them, but no palette I've seen so far really like speaks to me, really makes me want to jump the gun and buy it, but this palette says that. So this thing I probably should mention first, or I'll just edit and make it first anyways, but Colourpop is coming out with foundations, pressed powders, and loose powders. And these are coming out June 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and for me that would be noon. And so there's going to be 42 shades of the foundation line, $12 each. They're going to be a lightweight formula, a medium to full coverage, and a matte finish. Thank you. I feel like for a long time there was only like a luminous dewy foundations coming out, and a lot of them were really tempting, but it was like, that's not gonna work for me. Nope, it's not gonna work. So I just had to stay away. And then I was so bummed when CoverGirl was the drugstore brand that came out with the 40 foundation shades, and I was like, no. And they're also like matte finish. Maybe they call them like now that Colourpop's coming out with this foundation line, I am definitely pumped about it. And coincidentally, with the loose powders, I needed a new loose powder like 3 days ago. I gave one powder away to a friend like a few weeks ago, and I was like, that's kind of silly that I did that. But it's okay, it's all good. I'm not going to ask for it back, that's stupid. But, so those are $9, and it's a silky finish. They are in the shade Translucent, Banana, and Deep. And so next is the Blondie powder that comes in 6 shades with sheer matte powders, and they're $9 each. And those are in shade Fair, Light, Medium, Medium Dark, Dark, and Deep Dark. I think 6 shades for the blotting press powders is really good and amazing, because like what I do with my press powders, I like to get them maybe like a centimeter darker than I think my foundations are going to be, because I like to always guess lighter on foundation. So if it is really if it is light, usually my press powders will darken it just enough to make it look spot on. And I use press powders every day, like I have to. So for the blotting powders, I have a lot of press powders right now. I really want to work through what I have, at least get one of those panned. That would make me really happy before I picked up one of these. And then the foundations, I can't do foundations anymore. Like for the summer, I can't. It's been really hot in Nebraska for a solid month, and I can't. It's almost like stresses me out every morning, just trying to make sure I do everything I can to not have like oily face by the middle of the day, and I just can't. But I am super interested in their foundation. I'll probably try picking it up towards like September or October, and even then when I do get it, I've never tried the Colourpop concealer. So I'll probably get the concealer when I get the foundation. I might. Life's a Drag palette. I am into this palette, kind of. I mentioned in my haul video that the Latte palette was the first like product that I bought from an influencer's like own product line, and I like it. I'm not gonna say much about it, but I do really enjoy it. And Life's a Drag is so pretty. Like packaging alone, it's beautiful. There's getting great reviews. I really trust Manny to at least make sure that quality is spot on, if anything. And I think that this is a very good intro palette to his brand. But I want to see what his next palette's going to be like. And I know that's going to be like months and months, maybe over a year away. But I don't know if anything. Life's a Drag is already out. It's $45. It comes with 12 mattes, 2 shimmers, and a dual-sided brush in a really big mirror. Everyone who's been reviewing is like, I did not imagine this palette to be so big, and it is, and the packaging, everything about the palette is beautiful. But, so I want to kind of drop Life's a Drag and talk about Laura Lee's Nude Patootie palette. That came out at the end of April, and it's a new palette. But when I first saw it, I was into it. I was like thinking, maybe I might pick this up because yes, it's a nude palette, but I hope I said this earlier, but like if I'm going to buy an eyeshadow palette, I really want to add something new to my collection, and I feel like that palette is definitely going to bring something new. Now, that is her second palette, however, and she released her first palette back in October, the Cat's Pajamas palette. I might also have it up here for comparison. I was not into that palette at all. It was a really good intro palette, beginner's palette to makeup, and that's exactly what Laura wanted to do for it. So I'm not mad about that, but it's just like I'm not an intro, I'm not a beginner, so that palette just wasn't for me. But the second palette, she went total her, she encapsulated herself into a palette, and for that, like, congratulations, Laura Lee. Like, I think the palette is really beautiful, and she took a lot of feedback from people who did buy Cat's Pajamas. And so that's what I need to see from Lunar Beauty and Emmy Way's brand, because Life's a Drag is beautiful, but so is Cat's Pajamas, like aesthetically, and quality is probably just as great as Cat's Pajamas, if not better. I mean, they're really close friends, so I doubt that they're gonna be, I doubt one's better than the other specifically, just kind of what you're looking for. But I want to see where Lunar Beauty goes next, because when the Latte palette came out, I didn't care. I was just like, eh, this is whatever. But then the Lemonade palette caused me to look back to Latte and make me think, maybe. And then I got the Latte palette stuck in my head for months and months and months. So that's why I ended up getting that one. So I'm kind of wondering if the same kind of feeling is going to happen for the Lunar Beauty palette. So I don't know. Right now, I'm putting Lunar Beauty on hold. And Nude Patootie, I am putting on the, like, far distance. Want to get Nude Patootie by the end of the year kind of idea. Okay. And then the last thing I want to touch base on is, these are already released, but Morphe just came out with 5 bullet lipsticks, all in red shades. They're $9 each, or you can get $35 for the set, and that's a pretty good deal, because otherwise it'd be $45 for all each of them. And there's kind of like an orangey red, down to kind of a deep brick red, and there's just kind of a little gradient in between. I think these are really pretty, and the packaging on the lipsticks are absolutely stunning. I am all about that kind of rectangular square black packaging. I'm interested in picking these up because I want to try more from Morphe. I want to try more from Morphe. And it's simply because Morphe gets a lot of flack for being kind of like the influencers brand. People are tired of getting the Morphe code shoved in their face. But at the same time, like, the stuff I have from Morphe, I enjoy. Even though it's only brushes and like one palette. Actually, I just bought the setting mist, so I have that too. But I want to try more from Morphe, and just in general, I want to try different products from different brands that I haven't tried or had any experience with before, or even like, okay, so I've done a lot of talking, a lot of fast talking, but I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're into it, into me, if you want to see more content like this, or if you just want to see what I end up doing. And yeah, and remember, just have joy. Have joy. I want that to be my tagline, just to have joy. It's more than happiness. Joy is just this innate love amount of energy that you just always have with you, even though life is rainy and dark and dreary. Just always remember to have joy. So that's now it. So bye.